Welcome to the human CENTIPOD.
Well, here we are. It's about time we did one of these, right? It's been a while. Here we are at the human CENTIPOD with John Reynolds.
And Carmen Lynch.
Thanks for saying my name.
Yes. I tried to cut you off with your own name.
It's a beautiful day, and I saw a flower in between all the weeds. So what does that mean? That this is going to end?
It means the virus has been cured and everything's better again.
That's my favorite thing of when we go downstairs and your mom's watching TV. I just want to know if there's been a cure.
Yeah. And she always goes, how long is this going to go on for?
Have they found a cure yet? That reminds me of when I first started going to therapy, and I'm like, am I going to get fixed? Are we going to fix this?
Right.
And she's like, what are you talking about? This never goes away.
Fix this, and you're just pointing to yourself?
To myself and my coochie. My coochie's fine.
Oh.
How have your days been, John? I haven't seen you in a long time. Kidding, we live together.
You got your check.
I got my $1,200 stimulus check. Which doesn't
And
it
I
seem
didn't.
like a joke right now? I mean, you probably wish you had it because you don't have it yet. But when you think about it, I guess $1,200 can last for a while in this circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to get, what amount I'm going to get, but I'm supposed to get, I think I should get something.
What do you mean everybody gets $1,200?
No, they don't. You basically admitted how poor you are because that's the max you can get.
Oh, I thought everyone did.
No, it's graded. It's gradations of money you make.
Well, I'm a comedian. Of course, I got $1,200. But you're an artist too, so I bet you'll get $1,200.
Yeah, I hope. I need it now.
But then what? Do we get more?
No.
Okay.
And we go to rioting. We go straight to rioting.
Have people been rioting yet? I keep getting these
No.
messages in my email, these junk emails that say, do you want to get certified for a gun? Do you get those?
No, I didn't get anything like that.
Talk right in the middle, John.
Yeah. Carmen's doing this thing to show me to talk closer to the mic, and it looks like you're blowing the mic.
Maybe I was.
Ah!
So, John, tell me about the house now. Let's talk about your mom.
John's mom.
Oh, yeah!
I love talking about
My
your
mom. My mom has. Here's a new development with my mother this week. We started to notice that her nose was getting red.
Half of her nose.
You know part of this or this whole thing? What I'm about to say.
I know what you're saying, but remember, it's only half of her nose.
Well, no, we didn't realize that at first, and then upon closer inspection, because if you just walk by her, she's like a piece of furniture, but then we were like, wait, it's only on half your nose, and then it turned out
But
she
bright
was
red,
basically
yeah.
bright red, basically because she sits in front of the TV all day. There's a large window on her right side, and she's just been sunburning half her nose,
half
not
of
the
her
rest
nose.
not the rest of her face. It's it's weird. It's like the sun only hits her nose. It's like a trucker when he sticks his arm out, and he's got of his truck all day while he's driving, and that arm is darker than the other arm.
Well, at first I thought she was sleeping on her face, like in a weird way where her blood wasn't
That would be a
circulating.
very painful way to sleep.
Because I didn't know you. I didn't know you could get sunburned through glass.
Yeah. Oh, it acts like a magnifying glass and focuses it right on you.
But
like
then by the
I
time it
made
was
that up.
dinner, that sounded official. By the time it was dinner, her nose was still bright red, and we started calling her Rudolph.
Yeah, because we're really witty
And
that
she's
way.
like, I didn't know. So we were like, you need to sit somewhere else because she's so still. Sometimes I've walked into the living room and not even realized that she's there because she's tiny and she's all wrapped up in a blanket.
Yeah. No, I threw an Afghan on her and didn't realize it was her.
You laid on her and you didn't know.
I didn't. I sat. Well, never mind.
That's gross, John.
That gross reminds me of another thing. Update on my mother, which she'll probably kill me for saying, but she had some lady problems down there, and had to call the doctor, and the doctor said, but I guess on the phone before they had the video, whatever the fuck they call it, doctor appointment, they said, "Does your phone have a camera?" And she lied and said no because she didn't want to have to show the doctor her lady parts.
What a great time for gynecologists to be like, send me a picture of your cooch.
Yeah, it's all
'Cause it's
medical
all-
dick and vag pics now.
Yeah.
Um,
But can you imagine, though? I mean, I guess that's what they're getting now, are pictures. But I can't imagine your mom trying to find her cooch.
well, she couldn't either.
That's true.
In fact, she had to, remember? Because of she had the meeting with the doctor, and then he prescribed her cream. And I don't think she's touched anywhere below her belt since the 60s. And so she had to go in the other room, remember?
Yeah.
She was like...
Well, first she was like, how am I going to find the hole? And then we had a family meeting.
Yeah, about that.
And your brother kept going like, Carmen, show her where the hole is. And I'm like, what can I do to avoid that? I'll just explain to her where the holes are. So it was like... What?
Did my brother mean for you to show...
He's like, help her find her hole.
But on you?
No,
how do you
like,
show her?
Like
with her? Point her hand to it?
Like find the hole, like spread her legs.
I must have been on my phone during that
part. And then I was like, you know what? Let's back up a couple steps. Let's just describe to her what it looks like down there. And I said, you will find 3 holes: the pee hole, the fuck hole, and the poop hole.
Right. To which one of my brothers said, "There's 3 holes?"
So I told her if she sticks the stuff in her pee hole, it's gonna hurt. The flexible hole, the flexi hole. That's the hole she wants.
Trademark flexi hole.
Which is the dick hole, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. You don't have to be like dick.
Yeah.
Is the fuck hole.
Put whatever you want in that hole.
And then clearly the butthole is a little further back. And then what happened? So we let her go upstairs. We were all supporting her behind the wall.
Yeah.
And then
no one's going in there with her.
And then we hear,
I found the hole!
John's mom.
Oh, yeah! That's no exaggeration, right?
no, it wasn't. We were in
just like that.
mid-conversation, just chilling,
We'd
waiting.
forgotten about her.
Yeah.
And then suddenly...
I found the hole! And we were all so excited.
We
Mostly
applauded.
me, because I didn't want to go in there and be like, here's your hole.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love your mom, but, you know,
that's a kind of love that's
I haven't even done that
different...
with my own mom.
Yeah.
But I think because she had to find her hole for 7 nights in a row,
Yeah.
it just got easier.
She stopped yelling, I found the hole, after the first night. Thank God.
Oh, my God.
You imagine every night, I found the hole! I found the hole again! There's that hole! Oh, hole! Hole, 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 hole!
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
End this fucking virus! End it already! So social media still sucks.
It really does. It's
It always
worse
did.
now.
Yeah, it always did, but it's worse now. And we were saying this the other day, which is one thing you thought would go away is FOMO, right? Because nobody can go out. So what are you missing out on? But FOMO is worse than ever before because of what everyone's doing in their homes.
Because you wonder what everyone else is doing in their homes.
Right. And how they're advancing their stupid careers and all that stuff. It's all stuff at home that you don't know. So we're calling it homo.
So how's your homo today?
My homo is okay, actually, because it's early.
Yeah, my homo rating goes up as the day goes on.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, I try not to look at social media much anyway before this shit. But because as you know, and as I probably said on this fucking thing before, it's just a parlor game that has been given enormous status in our world. It's just all those hashtag games on Twitter.
Yeah.
Why do people do that?
Excuse me, that's not COVID, but keep going.
And so yeah, I hate it. I mean, and I know this isn't original. There's no fucking hot take on this. I just fucking can't stand it. But I like the idea that we're so fucking sick and stupid that we still have this feeling, even with a fucking pandemic, where nobody's going out, nobody's really doing as much as we think they are in our heads.
Would you rather be in a pandemic like this with Instagram and social media being a thing, or would you have rather been in this 20 years ago?
I think I'd rather be in it now because, as I've said to you before, the riots will probably not be as bad for food shortages as they will be for internet blackouts. I think people will go absolutely fucking bonkers if they can't watch TV and play on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to send them into the streets, murdering, more than the food.
Wouldn't you have expected that to happen by now, though?
Well, it hasn't because we haven't lost anything yet.
Yeah.
The food, there is no food crisis and there is no internet crisis.
Then I don't think we're going to have that.
I think we are.
You think we're going to have a food crisis?
I think one of those.
The peak already.
I think one of those two. Well, everything I'm reading says we're going to get to food. They keep closing down meat processing plants, right?
Yeah.
That means no more meat coming to people. Harder to get, right? The truckers are getting robbed and stuff.
Are they really?
Sure. And the internet. I keep hearing that the broadband is getting exhausted.
That I know is true.
Panting and sweating. I don't know how the technology works.
No,
and if that goes, imagine if the food got cut off and internet got cut off. I'd be out in the street.
It's just Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, no one wants to live like that anymore. No one would know how to. Look at this other stuff in the news about nature reclaiming the earth.
Okay, what's
happening? Did you see this thing in Florida that there's these alligators that are just walking around shopping malls?
Shut up.
For real. Yeah, and it's because...
Wait, they realized that no one's in there and they were like, let's go shopping? How did
guess
they know?
They're like, we missed this part of the swamp, which became this weird building. Let's go revisit that old part of the swamp.
I don't understand how they got there.
Look it up. How they got there. They're right there anyway. I mean, they're on the edges, like just staring at this mall, like licking their lips, going, Jesus, the food in the swamp just got better over there with that building area.
But
they're afraid of humans, so they don't go. And then humans are gone.
So now they're
they're in there. And I'm having my own. Wait, what were we going to say? Do you think?
No. So I'm just wondering if they're just going to. What I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if we just lost Florida.
Oh,
to Gators.
God. Well, years ago, we should have lost Florida. Fill that fucking place in with cement already. I feel, though, personally, I'm being affected by nature reclaiming. And I'm feeling it with my nose hair. Have you noticed?
Oh, my God. You keep talking about your nose hair, but I really can't see anything.
It is the Black Forest completely... it's like it's been cursed by a witch, and it's just curling out. And it's all because when I came to the undisclosed location and I grabbed all this shit around the house, I did not grab the nose hair clippers.
Do you think people who have shortness of breath are just having thicker nose hair and they don't really have COVID?
Oh, because they could breathe normally if they could just cut their nose hairs?
Yeah, thanks for breaking down my joke. Yeah.
Why don't you work in an ER?
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
With these genius ideas.
Why just go
could
around
you imagine
and trim people's nose hairs?
Could you imagine if you helped cure the disease by trimming nose hair? Like that was the solution all along? It would take someone like you to come up with that. It's not too far.
Is that a compliment or is that an insult?
It's a compliment because you think of things weirdly.
I do?
You're a weird thinker. So you would come up with the weird way to end this. And it's not too far-fetched because they're saying right now that they're saving a lot of patients by just flipping them onto their stomach because your lungs expand into your back. And so because this thing stops you from breathing fully, if they flip you, it helps expand.
That makes sense to me. But why was an inhaler a bad idea?
An inhaler?
Yeah.
You mean a ventilator?
I'm sorry, a ventilator. Oh, my God.
Maybe you shouldn't work in an ER.
Quiet! Tell me why a ventilator was a bad idea.
Well, first of all, the intubation and all that is very painful and hurts you. They have to drug you to put you on it, which is really not good for the olds because they can't deal with those kind of heavy drugs. So when they were coming, if they survived, they were fucked up anyway because of the process of the ventilator is very difficult. With this flipping technique, which is like your trim the nose hair technique, super simple. And why didn't we think of it before we killed all these people on ventilators? You don't have to use the ventilator because they're getting their oxygen intake is increasing tenfold apparently.
So what's happening to all of the ventilators right now? Are they just throwing them out?
Yeah, they're throwing them out into the Hudson River.
Great.
They're just polluting again. They can't wait to get back to polluting. That's what's driving most of these fucking corporations crazy. The skies are blue. They can breathe the air. When can we pollute again? Like China's already polluting again? Oh, they're so jealous. They've got the FOMO about China polluting.
Maybe the quarantine thing will be like a once a year thing. Once every year for a month, we'll quarantine so we can have like blue skies.
Yeah, that would be nice, but that'll never happen. It's just like with the bank, the 2008 meltdown. Oh my God, we can't ever let this happen again. And then no restrictions put on the banks at all.
I want to hear more about the Gators.
That's all I knew about the Gators. Tell your Gator story.
Oh, yeah. I was in Florida about 10 years ago, and it was near Tampa. And I was in a hotel with my boyfriend at the time.
Okay, you
Sorry,
didn't have
John.
to add that part.
And we heard these like little smacky sounds, like... And I knew we were by this like body of water.
Uh-huh.
And I was like...
You observe it that way. Yeah, keep going.
But it was dark because we got to the hotel really late.
Nighttime.
And we get to the room,
Scary.
and the patio doors are open.
Yeah.
And I hear it. Do it again. And my boyfriend goes...
It's my mother finding the hole.
I found the hole! And my boyfriend goes... I go, oh, there's fish. We can hear the fish from the room, down in the water, because we were only on like the third floor.
Right.
So. And he goes, no, those are gators. And I'm like, shut up. Ha, 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 ha. And then the next morning I get up early, obviously, because I always do.
Yeah.
And I look out, and they were gators. And I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I'd never really seen a gator in its natural environment
They
before.
were all on your patio.
They were all in the water.
Oh.
But
below the patio.
Below the patio. But like
the
low
balcony.
enough where you could see. There were boats there and stuff, but you could see a couple of heads of gators. And I got so excited, and my boyfriend was still asleep. So I was like, I have to feed the gator. So I looked around, and obviously we'd gotten in really late the night before, so I didn't have anything. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't give it to him because I wanted to eat it because I like to eat. But so I went to the bathroom. And if you work for the animals, just don't get mad at me, okay?
Yeah, if you're an employee of the animals, don't get angry at Carmen right now.
What is that called? PETA, FEMA, whatever. Yeah. And
FOMO.
Homo. And so so the only thing I could find to throw at the gator was the bar of soap in the bathroom. Clearly, I didn't think bathing was an important thing. We didn't need any soap.
Way more important to feed a gator.
So I threw the soap at the gator, and it was right by his face. It was great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not going to kill him. Parents do that when they wash your mouth out with soap. Didn't you have that as a kid?
Yeah, my mom used to wash my mouth out.
So it's not like you were going to die. Yeah. So, but, he opened his mouth, and I thought I saw some bubbles next to his mouth. But I'm sure he's fine.
Did he eat the soap?
It looked like he ate it, yeah. But he didn't die. I just wanted to make sure everyone who was listening.
And were these big gators?
They were like, river gators. I don't know.
Like
medium.
I know what a fucking river
like
gator
maybe
looks like.
Your size.
My size?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean? The fuck?
I mean, like I saw one in the parking lot, and it scared me. So I waited in the car.
This was the same trip?
Same trip. Yeah, Florida doesn't care about. They're like squirrels out there. They're everywhere. But then I went to Costa Rica, and I saw the big ass scary. And don't get mad if they're called crocodiles or gators. I don't give a shit, okay? They're all fucking horrible dinosaurs. But the big ass ones, the ones that you see on like National Geographic.
Yeah, where were they?
They were in their little swampy area, and we were on a bridge. We went with one of the locals, and he took us. And I was like, this is the scariest thing I've ever experienced.
And were they just laying there, or did you get to
just
feed
hanging
them?
out there all on top of each other, all swampy and dirty, all snuggly. Like if you jumped in, you wouldn't even have a second to get out.
Yeah.
They're waiting for some human flesh.
Wow. I don't have any alligator stories.
Really? Do you have any lion stories?
No, I don't have any interesting stories.
Wow. Why am I dating you? I love you.
Feedback from the previous episode.
So this is from a friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name because I didn't ask permission first, but he likes the podcast.
Okay. Do I know this person?
You do.
Okay.
And he said, I've got one note. Do you want the note? And I said, sure.
Yeah.
And he goes, his note is to me. For me to, I'll quote it, keep being annoying you, but cut her off less.
Oh.
Which is really a backhanded compliment, right? To keep being annoying me.
They're really just two bad things to you. You're annoying and stop interrupting your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
I've
basically,
go
ahead. I'll give you permission to cut me off.
I've been trying not to interrupt you.
I know.
Which is why, as I
Which
was
is
saying
funny.
it, I was interrupting you. You get it?
Because in real life, you always think I'm interrupting you.
I do.
And you go, mid-sentence.
Right.
But anyway, I love that he thinks you're the annoying you. It is really good for entertainment purposes.
Being annoying?
Yeah, which I don't find annoying about you.
I don't know what is annoying about me.
Wow, that's so cocky.
Isn't that typical, though, of most annoying people? Why would they know?
No. It's good for podcasts. Did we get any other feedback?
No.
Oh, we got some recipes.
We got recipes. My friend Mark Cosden, who will allow his name, he gave us a delicious recipe for a vegetable dish that I completely ignored because I don't.
That's not the Brussels sprout one that we already brought up in the first episode.
I just ignored it. I told you, so I don't know what it is.
Okay. We also got some
but
recipes.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark also had a question.
Oh, what was the question?
Did I interrupt you again?
No, go ahead. I allow it.
What was the biggest fight we've had since this
you
has
and
happened? He had two questions. One I'll get out of the way quickly. Because we mentioned my son is the sound engineer, he wanted to know if he listens to the podcast.
Hell no.
Oh, dear listener, he does not. Don't worry, I wouldn't allow him to, and he wouldn't want to. He's bored by everything
Especially
I
if
do.
Grandma's hole is being discussed.
He wasn't part of that, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think he was. I
Oh
don't
my
think he
God.
heard any of that, right?
No.
Because sometimes you forget he's around because he's the only kid in a house full of adults. So many people in this fucking house, and then we forget he's there, and you know what I mean. And that I forgot he went like 3 days without breakfast.
Yeah, and he's growing a lot. Have you noticed? He's taller.
Yeah.
He's very tall.
Yeah.
It's
But
funny,
anyway.
though, the things that he hears at the dinner table, like you almost forget sometimes there's an 11-year-old child in the room. So
Yeah.
I wonder if he's either going to have extra therapy from all of this,
He will.
or if he will just be like leaps and bounds ahead of everyone because he's heard it all.
He's been very brave through all of this. First of all, he doesn't give a shit about it. It's like this pandemic isolation thing is like an elongated vacation for him.
It's a dream come true for kids who like video games.
Yeah, he's online like every day. I think I said this before, with his friends. As soon as he gets off of online school, he goes to online video gaming with his buddies.
But wouldn't that sound, for his age, this is a dream, you know?
Yeah.
Because who doesn't want to play video games if you're like a little boy?
I know. I do it too.
If you're a 14-year-old girl, this is probably your biggest nightmare.
Imagine the FOMO homo they're going through right now.
Lots of homo.
Lots of homo right now for 14-year-old girls. But the other thing Mark asked was what's been our biggest fight
Since the podcast?
since the pandemic started, since the self-isolation started. That's what I assumed. And I think we already mentioned it, which was it was the first house meeting. It was a lot of screaming about who's going to, as we were divvying up these chores.
We had a second fight, though, this weekend
I don't even remember it.
about cleaning.
They all blend together. Oh, cleaning the house, yeah.
But it's funny, once there's a huge fight, and I don't mean a fight between you and I, but a fight between everyone in the house. It's really your family, and I just watch and get popcorn and
Right.
just
And
enjoy
it's
it.
and we're all regressing to our childhood roles. But like I have one or two brothers that look for stuff that I wouldn't look for, like pubic hairs behind the toilet rim. As long as we aim the hair into the toilet, I don't see a problem.
But
you
your
know?
brother, even for me, he's really made me notice other things that are like good for me, like there's
Yeah.
dust behind this. And I'm like, oh
Right.
yeah.
Well, he had me spit shining the trash can in the bathroom. And the toilet brush casing. I've never cleaned that before.
Yeah, who cleans that?
But I cleaned it. I cleaned it because I want to live. I don't want to get kicked out. There's nowhere for me to go. New York City's still melting down. I ain't going back there.
A person we don't know sent us a lot of recipes, which tomorrow's our cooking night, so maybe we'll make one. Fikey Smithuis. Am I saying your name right? Thank you, Fikey. Or is it Fiki? I don't know.
Or did you make up that name so that Carmen could screw it up on the podcast?
No, because it's a real Instagram account.
Oh, okay.
So thank you, Fikey, for sending us all of these recipes.
I want to say it too now. Thank you, Fikey.
It is fun to say.
Thank you, Fikey. We're going to try some of those, and then we'll report back with those recipes.
Yes, and then we also want to give a shout-out to...
Oh, we want to give a shout-out to our buddy Jason Pollock for not giving us a recipe, because I just assume he's a terrible cook. But he's a big supporter.
But he's a big listener. And
he loves to...
When this podcast blows up, I think Jason might be part of the fan club.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe president of the fan club or vice president.
Oh, yeah. He immediately have that role, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to fight it with your son.
But don't clear any room in your schedule just yet for being the fan of the Human Centipod podcast.
Yeah.
But if it ever does happen.
Let's talk about diet now. Do you feel like you've gained weight? I
Yes.
think I've gained a little bit of weight.
Oh, no, I know I have.
Do you think I've gained weight?
I can't tell, honestly.
That's a great boyfriend's answer. I think I have. I think your brother is convinced that I'm going to get fat because I eat so much.
But you're very good at running and walking fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I kind of just want to keep eating and see if I get fat.
You want to experiment on your body during a pandemic?
Yeah.
That sounds smart.
All right. What else do you want to talk about?
Can I just say something?
You can always say something. Why are you holding back?
Before this podcast started, you said, at some point I want to talk about me possibly getting fat. And I went, oh, great, awesome. And then all it is you going, I might get fat. And that was it.
Oh, really?
I thought you had like a story.
Oh.
I thought you had like a take. Like, if I get fat, then this will happen. All you wanted to say was...
I just want to get it out
fat.
there
Yes.
in case I get fat.
Yeah.
And then people aren't
Right.
like, well, you know you're fat, right? And they'll be like, well, yeah, I knew it was happening. I knew it was coming.
Oh, so you want to get ahead of everybody by preparing yourself
Like, I don't
for
want
getting
people
fat.
to think that I was unaware of it.
Okay.
I'm very self-aware, and if my ass grows, I'm aware.
I got it. I want to do, next time we do this, I want to say beforehand, I want to go, okay, ask me about my socks. Ask me about my socks, right? Let's do it, and then you go.
I know what you're going to do.
I know
what you're going to do.
Go ahead, do it right now.
All right, talk about your socks.
I own socks. And that's all I'm going to say. And that's going to be the whole segment.
Fuck off!
It's not going to be, I got some new socks. It's not going to be, I ripped a sock. It's going to be, I own socks.
You don't even have a good alligator story.
No, but I admit it. I don't say, hey, ask me about alligators before the podcast. And then when you do, I go, no, I never saw one. End of story.
I think this is considered a fight.
Here's another fight we got into. Kaz. That's his nickname. Mark caused him. Did we thank everybody?
All right, let's talk about how we made a frittata. We made our first frittata.
Oh my God, this is going to be like the fucking fat thing. That's all. There's no story there. We just made a frittata. We burned it on the bottom a little bit. That's it. Do you think we've run out of some shit to talk about on this podcast?
We haven't done a podcast in a week. I was hoping that we would have things to talk about.
But all you do is you write down, you write down frittata. Then when we get into the car and we start recording, you go, let's talk about it. Hey, we made a frittata. Crickets! There's no story there. We just made it.
I thought you were going to go into it. Okay.
Why would I go into it? I fucking hated cooking that frittata. It was so many steps to just fucking burn it anyway. And everyone had to force it down because it was our cooking night. I mean, if there's anything to say about the frittata, it was fun to watch people eat our fucking bad cooking because they can't complain.
Also, we didn't have any cream, so we had to use whipped cream from the ice cream section.
Yeah, okay. It's getting a little more interesting now.
I mean, you don't have many subjects to talk about.
No, I don't like to talk. I shouldn't be doing a podcast. I hate them. I don't listen to them except the one that I mentioned before.
But everybody likes your anger, so this is very entertaining.
No one likes my anger.
Keep yelling while I look for subjects.
Let's look for subjects. You're just reading from your shopping list. Tell the story about the milk. And what about the one about the eggs?
Well, someone's got to work on a podcast. We don't have any shows to do.
Oh, yeah, because there's a big dearth of podcasts in the fucking world right now. No one needs this.
So why are you doing it? Is this the last one?
I love you. That's why I'm doing it.
Wow.
Is this the last one? Oh, wait, that's a good cliffhanger. Is this the last one, ladies and gentlemen? I'm exhausted.
Isn't there anything you want to vent about?
I think I just vented about you and podcasts.
It's time for movie review.
Well, it's time for a movie review, but this isn't a movie.
No, it's a television show that Carmen and I don't remember if we've already talked about.
So we're going to talk about it again.
Yeah, we're not going to take the time to check and see if we've already
We
done
don't
one.
have time.
We don't have time.
It's called The Outlander.
Yeah, I think it's just Outlander.
Oh, okay. And now say what it's. How do you say Outlander in Gaelic?
Shaughnessy.
Sassenach.
Sassenach, that's it. And
it's very good.
This show's brilliant.
I got to say the first episode is slow. So if you
First couple, I would say.
Yeah, but just watch it anyway. I wanted to cut myself. It was so fucking slow.
Can I just take a quick detour about what you're saying right now?
Okay.
This is not an interruption.
Good save.
You notice that there's a lot of people saying now, all you got to do is get through the first episode or get through the second episode.
Yeah.
But then the show is great. There's
Yeah.
a lot of that. And I had somebody tell me with that piece of shit show, The Leftovers.
Succession.
Oh, we'll get to that. But with Leftovers, remember that? The
Yeah.
HBO show? Someone actually said to me, because I watched the first 3 of that in season 1 and could not get into it. And I like Damon Lindelof and his work. I don't know what he's like as a person. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, they said... I went into the job I was on at that time, and I said, I gave it 3 episodes. And this guy says to me, I was working with, he says, oh, no, you gotta give it the first season. And then after that, it gets better. The first season?
Well, I mean, now that's what we have time for.
Well, now we do, but back then we didn't. Who
Yeah.
had time for... Well, actually, I don't have time now with all the FOMO homo we've got to deal with. You got to constantly be fucking creating and making shit and also in addition to the actual paying work I got to do. There's no fucking time for give it the first. Just all you got to do is you got to whip through that, get through that first season. What are you fucking talking about? Succession,
I heard you have to get through the first 3 to 5 episodes, and then it gets really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's too much. And I heard another Damon Lindelof, The Watchmen. A friend told me you got to get through the first 6 episodes. There's 9 episodes total of the whole fucking thing.
That's like if you get married and they're like, the first 10 years are horrible, but after that, it's going to be really good. Oh, you laughed at my joke. Okay. So let's talk about Outlander.
Yeah. So it's first of all, go ahead.
The little on the corner. On the corner, what does it say?
On the corner of the screen. This
When
is
it
our favorite
starts.
thing that we love when
Yes.
it comes up, right? It goes, warning. I love that. I started by saying it's the favorite thing, and now I don't remember actually what it says. But it gives one of those warnings that goes, warning, sexual, nudity, rape, gore, smoking. Smoking's the last one. That's so perfect for our age, for the time we live in. If you're not pissed off at the rape and the fucking bloodletting and the fucking curse words, let's throw in smoking.
And
that
I
might
can't
piss
even
you off
remember anyone who smokes on that show.
too. No one smokes. Oh
Because
no,
I'm too upset by all the fucking rape that's
Yeah.
on that show.
well, they all smoke while they rape.
Yeah, but
That's
I
what
gotta
it is.
say I've never watched such disturbing
The
rape.
The rape in this is unreal. First of all,
It's not regular rape.
it's not regular rape. Well, what does that mean?
It's like pedophile rape in the sense there's no kids in it,
There's no
but there's
pedophile rape.
grooming. If you think
What?
about it, the way he touches him and goes, "I love you," and like gives him out lavender oil. That's a lot of it's
Okay.
not regular rape.
You're talking about two adult male characters.
And it's
That's
not
not
the fact
pedophi-
that it's gay rape.
Okay.
It's the way he rapes him.
You have thrown out so many things that are wrong right now
I
about that
haven't.
show.
Lavender oil?
Yeah. You got the rape oil correct. But the rest, there's no pedophile
I
rape
know, but I'm not
at
saying
all.
it's pedophile. I'm saying
You
that.
just said it was pedophile.
Can you let me finish? You're interrupting me. Your friend's going to get mad when he listens to this. Okay? What I was saying is that in Michael Jackson pedophile rape, there's a lot of grooming.
Yes.
You know, come see my rides and come look at my puppets and whatever.
That is with what? Children.
I know, but that's not my point.
The point is there is no children.
I know, but you're interrupting, and I didn't say it was a pedophile rape. I said it was like a pedophile rape.
And that he's grooming an adult.
He's grooming. He's like,
but you
"Come
can't groom an
over."
adult. You can only groom children.
You can groom them when they're trapped in prison and starving and
No, that's
tied
called-
up against a wall.
That's called fucking with their heads, not grooming.
Same thing.
You can only
Grooming
groom
in Michael Jackson's show is fucking with their heads.
all children.
That's not the point.
You
oh my
used the
God.
word
okay,
grooming
we're getting in
wrong.
a fight again. If this is Michael, if this is John's friend, this is the next fight.
Oh, my friend who asked, what's the big fight? We've had a couple of fights in this podcast.
You need to stop interrupting me. He's right.
Yes.
Calm down.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
What have we said about this show so far? All we've talked about is
rape
a rape,
very,
and we've talked about it in the wrong way.
I know, but the rape is very disturbing, is what I'm going to say.
Well, let's put this out there, okay? I'm going to say, let's just throw some more spoilers in. There is attempted rape on females constantly in this show that never happen. She never gets raped.
No.
She almost gets raped every single time. Guy, if you're a guy in the show, you're raped.
Yeah.
You do get raped.
Yeah.
You see the rape. You see penis.
You see penis. You see jerking.
You see jerking of penis.
You see spitting in the butthole.
You see butthole spit.
And you're watching all of this with John's mom.
Who's going, there's a hole, there's a hole, ooh, there's another hole, look at all the holes.
But this is her because she likes the show now. So when we sit down to watch TV, she goes, are we going to watch the porn? That's what the show, she calls it the porn.
That's right, the
She
porn.
loves it,
She
too.
does, she does.
I never in a million years thought I'd be watching porn with your mother.
Oh, it is like porn, and it's on the Starz network. We watch it on Netflix, but it's on Star. We only saw the first season, and I think the first episode of the second.
Remember that woman? This is another thing that happens that we're going to spoil. Remember that woman who had to squeeze her breasts to get the milk out
Yes.
into these little tin cans in the middle of the woods?
That was horrific. And it was very casual. Like they were having a scene, and she was just squirting milk into a tin can to relieve the pressure because she had a child and was away from the child. And that was so I love that scene because when are you ever going to see two women
It's very
talking
real.
about they're talking about saving men
Yes.
while one of them is forcefully lactating into a tin can. There's no other show that has stuff like that. You know what I love about this review so far? We've told no one what the premise of the show is.
No.
We've given them no idea of the basics of this show. We just launched right into pedophile rape, which the show has nothing to do with.
Which I already said. Yeah,
And-
keep going.
And now tit milk.
But the tit milk is great because it's really, like you said, it's female heroes. And instead of needing to take a piss in the woods like a man would have,
Right.
she's like, my
That's
tits
what-
hurt. I got to squeeze the milk out of
Yes,
them.
that's what it is.
And then she pulls out this little tin can.
Yeah.
And you hear it against the tin.
The
it's
tit
like
can.
ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
the tin
yeah,
can.
yeah.
And I'm like, why do you even need the can if you're just going to throw the milk out?
That's what she does.
Just squeeze it into
Yeah.
the woods.
She goes to great pains to squirt and aim into this little tin can, only to spill it all into the woods right next
So
to her.
just like use your tit milk to fight the
Yeah.
men that are holding your husband or whatever.
Right, like fucking laser tits,
Like
but
laser
but the
tits.
lasers are tit
yeah.
milk. I love it. The rewrite on this is brilliant. I like that our only fault with the show is that she wasted time squirting into a tin can instead of just squirting into the woods. It's a brilliant show. We're never going to tell you what the premise is or the basics of the
'Cause
show.
we don't want to give it away.
We don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
We just want to get right to the rape and the tit milk. I love that analogy about men pissing. That was great.
Do you think they should just
like
add that to the top corner where it says smoking? Just put aggressive tit squirting?
Yes.
Well, I have some really bad news that I want to share. We're saying goodbye.
Yeah. And before we do, I just want to give a shout out to my friends Bill and his wife Marcella, who they think have the virus, but they're getting better. But they think they have it. They didn't get tests because we live in a third world country, but no one will tell you that, okay? South Korea, lots of tests. This fucking first world fucking country.
They
no
can't
tests.
go to like a little clinic and
No,
get
they won't
it?
test them. The doctor said don't even bother coming in. So,
Oh
but
my
they are
God.
getting better. So I want to wish them a speedier recovery.
What a great couple. Are they listeners of the show?
No.
Okay, well, somebody please tell them that we really care about them.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it into the void.
And if you have corona, hold on.
Yeah.
Hang on and share our podcast
Wow.
because that really helps people.
That was incredibly uplifting.
I'm at Carmen Comedian.
I'm at A Fistful of Babies, and this is...
At Human Centipod is the Instagram.
Right.
And this is
Goodbye.
goodbye.
And don't forget to rate us. It literally takes 5 seconds to go on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating.
Bye.